But does anybody have any questions from just the cylinder page? All right, because I do want to talk about the ERBs. Yes. All right, so let's take a look at 13. All right, so a pipe is just a cylinder. You with me on this? A pipe is just a cylinder. So the formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. Agreed?
Yeah.
So what's the radius? Exactly. So we're going to have pi times 1.25 squared. What do you think you're going to multiply it by? By 15. All right, so what are they trying to tell you? All right, I'll show you what they meant by a pipe. Most people would picture a pipe looking something like this. Does that make sense? Right, so they're just saying it's 15 inches long. All right, that's all. Hello? Yeah. All right, so now type that in. Somebody tell me what that worked out to be. Is that right? About 17.6? Come on, pay attention. All right, you're right here, double checking. That's what you should be doing. 17.6. Anybody else? Is everybody agreeing with 17.6?
Oh wait, I got 70. I got 73.6. 73.6.
All right, and then it's inches cubed. Sorry, 73. I thought you said 17. All right. Is that good now?
That actually was the one. I was confused on 14 because what it says a cube is 8 inches on each side so would that be
Okay, so now look again. I really want you to listen to me on 14. Please listen. Listen, there's a couple problems I think are super important because I think it tells me whether or not you understand what we're doing. All right, I don't understand why volume is that hard for kids, honestly. It's a measure of space. There's formulas. So what do you have to do? Just plug numbers into formulas. But this tells me whether or not you actually understand what's going on. All right, so see if you understand, please. All right, let's read the question and make sure you understand exactly what they're asking. All right, it says a cube is 8 inches on each side. All right, so if we had to draw a cube, right, it would just be something of 3 dimensions, right? So if you're going to draw the cube, and we've kind of already talked about the volume of a cube. So to make it, it's not that hard. All right, there we go. There's our cube. All right, not difficult. All right. Now, it's also considered a rectangular prism, right? So it's basically taking on those same characteristics of just length times width times height. But the only difference here is that the length and width and height, they're all what? 8. So 8 cubed. All right. And what is 8 cubed? I think it's 512. All right, so that's the volume of that. All right, that's the volume of that. All right, now it says, what is the height of a cylinder having the same volume? All right, so now we're looking at a cylinder. All right, but the problem is we don't know what the height is. All right, so if you're just looking at it, right, that's the cylinder. And we know that that cylinder has a volume of what? 512. And we know that the radius in this case is what? 4 inches. We don't know what the height would be then. All right, we don't know what the height would be. All right, you're not fooling me. Just to let you know that. You better be careful. So the volume is 512 equals pi times 4 squared times the height. So everybody take a look at that. All right, does anybody have any questions with that now? It says the volumes were equal, correct? So if the volumes are equal, we're missing the height.
Oh,
No, I knew the radius was 4 because I read the question. What does the question say? The radius is 4. You agree with that? All right. So now I'm trying to show you that this volume in this cube is the same as this volume in this what? Cylinder. But I need to make the cylinder, so what would I make the height? That's what they're asking. All right, so now I have 512 equals, now I need somebody to tell me what pi times 4 squared is. What is that?
I got 50.
Is that right, about 50.3, somewhere around there? Right, I don't care what it is. 50.3, 50.24, I don't care what you have. We're rounding. Agreed? And so now how do I figure out what the height is? Very good, thank you. 512 divided by 50.3, so your height is roughly about 10.2. All right? Now honestly, if you know that, if you understand what I just did, all right, you're in very good shape as far as volume goes. Very good shape. And I always try to tell kids, I don't care if you know the formula or not, because you can always do what? Look up the formulas. Everybody hearing me? You can look up the formulas. That's not the big part. The big part is the application to the formula. That's what I'm hoping you can get to. All right? So that was an excellent question. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I just have a question on that question. Just when you're on the left side, like over there, how come I get why you did a cube like that, but number one, how come you didn't multiply 4 squared in that part of the problem? You multiply it like over there. I mean, like, how come you got the answer of a cube and then you did it again?
You mean why did I put 512 over here?
Yes.
What does it say about the volumes? So if the volume of this cube is 512, what's the volume of the cylinder? Say it. That's correct. That's why I put.
Oh, there are 2. Oh, now I get it.
Okay, good. No, sorry. Good. You're trying hard. Good. Very nice. All right. Anybody have any questions with that? All right. Now, what I want to do is I just want to practice, or I want to look at your ERB for question number 2. Now, again, you should look at your answer and see how you're doing. Right? And then I'll tell you my answer. All right? It says here, the Fresh Chili Company is changing the size of their cans. The new can needs to hold 500 cubic centimeters of chili. The height of the can is to be 11 centimeters. What do I need the radius to be? All right, so again, this one's a little bit harder. All right, so let's write the formula. It's a can, correct?
Yeah.
So a can we know is pi r squared times h. Everybody, I'm sure, wrote that down. Now you want the volume to be what?
You want the volume to be 500.
500. So everybody put a 500 there. Pi, do we know what the radius is? No. Now this one's why this one's a little bit harder. We know the height has to be what?
11.
Height has to be 11. Thank you. All right. So now let's see how many of you got this. What's pi times 11? What's pi times 11?
I got 34.6.
Thank you, girl. 34.6 r squared. 34.6 r squared. All right. Now, what do I have to do?
I did 500 divided by 34.6.
That's exactly right. You're going to isolate r squared. So I'm dividing by 34.6. So r squared is approximately what?
I got 14.5.
About 14.5. Anybody else come up with 14.5? Right? Jack, you guys okay? You good there?
I also
Now, what's the problem?
because it's not
R
not
squared,
square.
right? I have to figure out how to get rid of a square. How do I get rid of a square?
You do that little weird button on your
Square root.
Square root, yes. So listen to me. Square root, square root. Because the square and the square root do what to each other? They're inverses. They cancel each other out. All right? So if you take the square root of 14.5, that would tell you exactly what the radius should be. So the radius should be somewhere around what? About, somebody agree with him about 3.8? Good job. 3.8.
3.8, yeah.
All right. Now, again, I keep trying to tell you guys, if you're okay with that, all right, you really are in good shape. You're actually even in good shape for algebra. All right? Because algebra is just working backwards, trying to solve problems. All right? I think that's a really good problem. All right? To solve a square, you have to hit the square root button.
What is that? It's like the little, like, it kind of looks like a long division thing. It's like a check mark with a.
There you have it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do number 4. All right? Just because, again, who did anybody get number 4? Tell me what you got. Tell me what you got, William. I want to know. William, you got an answer.
48.
That's what I got.
48.
Yeah, I got 48.1. And then,
Jack? Jack, listen, man. Don't think they're right, okay?
I got 577.
yeah, that's what I got.
577 point what? 0.3. Look. Listen, I'm having a conversation up here. Every time I turn around, you guys are having your own little world. I'm telling you, I'm not putting up with it anymore. If you guys want to come in and sit the way you are, the way you want, that's fine. If not, I'm going to put one of you in each corner of the room.
Oh, do you have to do that times
Of
12?
the cans,
All
it
right.
says find the volume of 12 cans.
Oh,
of
so then you have to. Oh, that's what I did.
Oh, I thought.
So now, let's look. I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. All right, let's read and see what it says. It says, the soup is shipped in boxes with 12 cans to a box. Each can has a diameter of 3.5 and a height of 5. Oh, that's not hard. Right, so all we're doing is pi r squared times h, and then how many cans are there?
12.
12. So you multiply that by what?
12.
12. Come on, that wasn't that hard.
Which gives you 5.
All right, so 48.1 was if you only did what? 1, right? And then you just multiply it by 12. All right, so again, pi times, and the one thing they do is try to throw you off. They give you the diameter. So what do I have to do the diameter? What? Divided by 2. All right, so if I take 3.5 divided by 2, I get 1.75 squared times the height, which is 5, times 12. So everybody type that straight in on the calculator. All right.
Wait, actually, it should be 577.3.
Yeah, but remember,
I said 0.2.
it doesn't matter. Listen to me. I don't remember at the end. This is all about if you're close.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you round. Sometimes kids actually use 3.14. Sometimes on the test it says use 3.14. Just do what you're told. Right? If you use the pi button and you're off a little bit, I don't even care. All right? I can tell whether or not you understand. All right?
What was the answer? Problem 3.
I think it was you guys, everybody good with number 4, right? I'm gonna go find the answer to number 3 for you now. think you're right, kiddo. That I almost said that. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. 45.3 was the answer. Good job. Now look, I want to just talk about this one real quick also. All right, because I think this is a really good problem. All right? And the reason why it's a really good problem is I know, but you're not even listening. You're not focusing on what he's doing. Do the next section. If you don't know the formula, look the formulas up. Make yourself productive. I'm tired of it. All right, here we go. So now again, I think again this is an outstanding question. If I was asking a question about ERBs and what if I was trying to figure out if a kid is thinking, this would be a great question to determine if you're thinking. If you knew this answer, I'm not kidding you. I think you're fantastic with volume. Fantastic. There's nothing you can't answer. All right. So essentially, what happens is you fill up your garbage can, and then you go. Dump your garbage out in the dumpster out there. How many times can you fill your dumpster with the cans? That's what they're asking for. All right. So what do I need to do? I need to find the volume of each can, correct? And then I need to find the volume of the dumpster, and then just do what? Divide them, and that'll tell you how many.
So the answer to that is 1.3.
I think so, but let's take a look. Let's see. So this, your little trash can is 5.3 cubic feet, right? And now your big dumpster is what? 240. So now all we have to do is divide 240 by 5.3. Is everybody good on that? That's a really, really important problem, a really good volume problem. All right, and again, I personally don't care about just plugging numbers into calculators because, again, that doesn't tell me what you know or what you don't know. So when you take your test, there's going to be a lot of word problems where you have to kind of figure things out. All right, that's why I'm going to give you the formulas. All right, and if you understand what I'm doing here, then you're in good shape. All right, you're really good shape. All right, now what I want to do is quickly, because I feel like I'm a little behind because I keep getting interrupted. All right, now we're going to do the volume of pyramids and cones and spheres. Now what I want you to realize is that your pyramid and your cone are roughly the same thing. All right, and I want you to put volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. That's what the formula is. Now the sphere is something totally different. Very good. Did you look that up? Good job. The volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. That's the formula. All right, 4/3 pi r cubed. That's the formula for a sphere. All right, which is very easy. Just plug it in and you get the answer. All right. Now, the main thing I want to tell you about, though, is this right here. You better hurry, girl, because I'm explaining the formulas. All right. The base. The base shape of a pyramid or a cone can change. Look in the first one. What is the base of this pyramid right here? What's the base called? What is that shape? A triangle. What's the base of this cone? Nope. The base of it is a? Nope. A circle. Thank you. What's the base of this pyramid? A rectangle. That's what I'm telling you. The formula changes. It changes depending upon the shape of the what? Of the base. That's how simple it is. All right? So again, the only thing is there's 1/3. All right? Sometimes kids forget that. All right? So for question number 1, all right, the volume is equal to 1/3 BH. So write that down first. Now, what is the shape of the base again? A triangle. So what's the formula for area of a triangle? Who remembers that? Who remembers the formula for area of a triangle? Right, very good. So I'm feeling good. 1/2 base times height times capital H. All right, so now I'm going to highlight something just to make sure I'm clear. This represents the area of the what? Of the base. Cole, you guys with me? You with me? That's the formula. Now, if you understand the formula, just plugging the numbers in is what? Easy. All right? So here we go. So volume equals 1/3 times 1/2. What's the base and height of the triangle? 12 and 12. Very good. And what's the height?
17.
And then times
I
17.
got 4 of it.
Very, very nice and very, very easy if you know the formula. All right? So somebody tell me again.
408.
Now, don't take her word for it. Type it in yourself. 408 inches cubed is what she's telling me. But you verify that, please. You got 408?
Yeah, 408.
What?
But I got it.
Come on, come on.
Is it so that's the base, 12 is the base, and then 4?
Right. So the reason why we know that is it's a right angle here. This right here is 12. Do you hear me? And this right here is what? 12. Because remember, the base and height, that's what's pointing to.
Oh, okay.
Right? All right, so now let's look at 2. Again, I want everybody to write down volume equals 1/3. Write down 1/3 capital B, capital H. Now, what again is the base of this problem? A circle, right? A circle. I know what you meant. A circle. What's the formula for area of a circle? Pi r squared. Now look, if you're just going, I have no idea what the area of a circle is, you're way behind. Now, if you said the area of a circle is 2 pi r, at least I know you're thinking about it, even though that's the circumference. So there's lots of formulas that are floating around in your brain. You've got to write them down.
I thought the circumference was 2 pi d.
I can't help that. Not my fault. Well, circumference. Pi times diameter, or 2 pi r.
Yeah. I thought you
All
said
right.
pi r.
Volume is equal to 1/3. What's the base?
Oh,
It's a circle.
Pi r squared times h. All right, now you got to be real careful. What is the radius?
1.95.
Yeah, so 1/3 times pi times 1.5 squared times 3. Now again, do me a favor, type it in yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Cole, you typing it in back there? Or are you staring at me? I'm telling you exactly what to do and you're staring at me.
I got 7.1.
I got 7.
Volume equals 7.1
Yards
yards
cubed.
cubed. Thank you, because we're measuring volume. Volume is with cubes. Volume is with cubes. Cole, you okay back there, right? You got this, right? Jack, everything's good? Hunter, you haven't said anything. You good? All right, again, I'm trying to teach you how to understand the formulas. That's why it's important to listen. All right? The other thing is, if you get home tonight and you're going, oh my gosh, I forgot what the formula is, all you got to do is open up Google and say formula for volume of a whatever, and it spits it right out to you. All right? Everybody good with that? All right, so here we go. Now, volume of a sphere. All right? Wait till you take calculus. They'll teach you how they came up with that formula. It's really amazing. Really, really amazing. All right? So again, formula for volume of a sphere is V equals 4/3 times pi times what? Times what?
7.
7 what?
7 cubed.
Cubed. Thank you. 7 cubed. Now listen, this right here, pay attention. That would be the symbol for some calculators to the 3rd power. The other one on some of your calculators has it as like y to the x. All right, so you have several options. All right, you just got to find your calculator, make sure you know what it is. Where's your calculator? Come on, girl. I'm saying do these problems on your calculator, man. You're like daydreaming with me. Come on, girl. Practice, please. All right. So someone else, tell me now. Again, there's a new button here to the third power. You got to make sure you know how to do that on your calculator. All right, that's what we're trying. So somebody tell me what the answer is.
1,436.8 feet cubed.
Thank you very much. Did you get that?
Yeah.
No, you type it in on your calculator. Writing it down is not helpful to me. Yes, good for you. All right. So on yours. Good girl. Okay, you got that now? Come on, that's what I'm saying. You gotta say with me. Okay, yours. What? Four divided by 3. 4 divided by 3.
That's why I got it wrong.
Come on, girl. 4 divided by 3. Chop, chop. Come on, that's why I said, that's why I'm telling you. Look, some of you already, I'm not saying something you don't already know, but listen to me. I say use your calculator with me because I can help you. All right? 2 or 3 of you didn't know how to use the calculator. All right, just writing down the answer. What? Here. That one. Is that button? Yes. Good? You know what you're doing now? All right, Kate, you back in? All right, here we go. Let's check out number 4. Uh-oh, number 4 is a different because the base is a rectangle. So come on, join me. V equals capital, oh man, I did it again. 1/3 area of the base times the height. Volume equals 1/3. What's the area of the base?
Length times width.
Which is
11 times 38
times?
times 10.
Yes.
Which equals 1,393.3 meters cubed. Yes, Dandy, go.
No, she was asking you to check her work.
That Carly. I got that.
Type it in and see. Let's go. I'd rather much say, yay, go, Carly.
Oh, yes, that's what I got.
Feels good to join us today. Thank you very much.
That's what I got.
All right, very much.
That's what I got.
Go, Carly.
Go, Carly. All right, here we go. Number 5. Here we go. Volume equals what?
4.3 pi r cubed.
R cubed. Now, how do you remember it's R cubed? Let me tell you how you remember it's R cubed. And how you know R squared is for area. Listen to me now. Whenever you measure volume, you measure it with what? Cubes. So there must be 3 dimensions. All right, that's why the area has R squared and why the volume has R what? Cubed. So everybody hear me? That's an easy way to remember. Area, pi r squared. You measure area with what? Squares. Measure volume with cubes. If you'll notice, every single formula has 3 variables if you're measuring volume. Every single one. All right? So again, that's the easy way. Area always has what? 2 dimensions. You're always multiplying 2 numbers together for area. All right? So again, I'm sure you guys type that in for me real quick. And volume is approximately, help me?
381.77 meters cubed. That's what I got.
Who said they got the same thing over here? Well, how's it feel joining me today? Wow, 1 problem out of how many have we done? You been doing them all? Yeah. Okay, good. Thought you guys were playing on your video games over there or something. All right, the way you're acting. What was that, Mr. Slack?
I did all of my problems I was supposed to do while I was playing my video game, I guess.
Good boy. Good boy. You can multitask.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now we've got number 6. Here we go. Volume is 1/3 pi r squared capital H. So someone else besides Caroline, tell me what the answer is. Go, William.
Okay, so the height is 12, and
No, sir.
no, sorry. The height is 10
Yes.
because it's the height of
Yeah, you're not allowed to say sorry anymore. Go.
the height of
The cone.
cone. Yeah.
All right.
So
What's the radius?
the radius is 5
How did you get that?
because half of 10.
What's the diameter?
Oh, 12.
What's the radius?
6.
You're awesome. Good job. So 1/3 pi times 6 squared times 10. Now, obviously, William, this is why I say pay attention and do the problems. Because you can make careless mistakes. It's on its side, so all of a sudden you get a little confused. That's why you do the problems. All right, do them with me. And then type them in on the calculator. All right, so you can see, yes, I know what I'm doing. All right, William, what did you get?
Oh, I got.
Carly, what did you get?
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, let's go.
Oh,
Allison. Ooh.
That's what I got.
What, girl? 300 what? If you would speak up, I could hear you.
I got 377.
Exactly.
Well,
No, it's 376.99.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
we even rounded it correctly.
Mr. Stroud, that's what I got.
William, well, we know what's right then. Thank you. Carly got the final answer there. That is it. Enough said. William, is she correct?
She's correct.
Wow. All right. I'm feeling good about myself now, finally. All right, here we go. The volume of a rectangular pyramid. So, somebody want to give me that formula real quick. Volume of a rectangular pyramid. Go.
What V equals 1/3.
Good. So now what? Volume equals 1/3 what?
Volume equals 1/3. Oh, the numbers. 12 times 9.
Times. Now look, because it's a rectangle, what's the base? What's the base shape? How do I find the area of a rectangle? Here it is, right up here.
Base times height.
Yes. But we could also say length times width. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So 1/3 length times width times height. Type it on your calculator because Alex is going to tell me the answer. What's the length and width of number 7, please? Come on. Read it to me. Yep. What's the width? And what's the height? Tell me the answer. I'm waiting patiently. Wow, nice.
That's what I got.
504 cubic feet. Some of you are setting a record today. You got 2 in a row. All right. What?
Is it 1/3 of the pyramid?
Now, actually, let me show you. I'm so glad you asked me that question. Look up. Because in what I want to do is I always try to tell kids how I remember things because there's so many formulas. So here's what I did to show you. All right, look up, please. Look up, look up, look up. All right, because that's an excellent question. Why is it 1/3? All right, well, in the future, all right, they'll explain how they derived it, right? But I can't teach you that because it requires some higher level math. But right now, all right, I want to show you how I figured it out. All right, I drew this shape right here, and I drew it down there. All right, not the best drawing, but what I'm trying to show you is that I cut out this part of the cylinder. You agree with that? And I cut out this part of the cylinder. So I cut out what? 2/3, which means what?
You left one.
I left 1/3. Does that make sense? Right now, that's not the mathematical explanation. I'm just simply saying that's how I remembered it was 1/3. All right, because you agree that a cone is a part of a cylinder. That's all it is. All right, and so I just sliced it out from here and sliced it out from there. Does that make sense? Can you see it? So this part is 1/3, this part is 1/3, and this part is 1/3. So I removed 2/3, so I have 1/3. That's how I remembered it.
How about the sphere?
Well, the sphere is just something I really wish I could explain. I wish I could show you, but if you come back when you're in 12th grade, I'll show you. All right, because that's when you learn how to come up with those formulas. All right. Again, it's really cool. Yeah, it's fun. All right, it's lots of fun, actually. All right. So now everybody cross out number 8. All right.
Okay, I've been trying to do
Now, number 8, the reason why I'm asking you to cross that out is because we don't know how to do cube root yet. I'm a little surprised they made that mistake. All right. But again, don't worry about question number 8. Do not worry about question number 8.
What was number 4 again?
Can I tell you the answer to number 4? 1393.3 repeating.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So let's look at number 9. All right, number 9 is super important. All right, for those of you guys who are ready for Algebra 1, this kind of gives me a hint. If you are, all right, you should be able to go backwards or forwards on equations. So the volume of a cone was what?
138.
And what's the base?
It's
A circle.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
pi r squared.
times h. All right, now what's the volume?
408
408 what?
inches.
No.
Pi.
Thank you. 408 pi. All right, what they did when you get to advanced math, we don't use the pi. We just leave pi in the answer. All right? So they're kind of introduced that to you. All right, now you just put down 1/3 pi. What's the radius?
12.
There you go. So now somebody do 12 squared times 1/3.
That is 48.
48.
Now please look up so I can show you something kind of nice. Okay, now you could multiply 48 times pi, but those of you guys who are thinking about it, what can I do to the pi's right off the bat?
Just
Eliminate
Divide them out, right? And when you divide them out, it becomes a 1. Is everybody happy with that? So now I just have to do 408 divided by what?
48.
Everybody do 408 divided by 48.
8.5.
And somebody said the height was what?
8.5.
8.5.
The height is what?
8.5 inches cubed.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
8.5
Inches. Dang it.
Inches. Inches. You measure height with inches. You measure volume with cubes. Okay? Now, what time does the bell ring?
No idea.
1 minute.
We got 1 minute. All right, so listen, I do think I'm going to run out of time here, but I still want to show you this real quick. Please look. Please look up. All right, first of all, they talk about a cone with a diameter of 3 inches and a height of 4 inches. 2-inch square pyramid is being designed to have the same amount of ice cream. So that means the two volumes are going to be what?
The same.
The two volumes are going to be the same. So the cone has a diameter of 3. So, So again, everybody try to finish number 10. And listen, 1, 2, and 3. 10, 1, 2, and 3. All right, very fair, very fair. And listen, I understand if you can't quite get 10, that's okay. But you should really, seriously, most of you guys have older siblings, and let them help you a little bit. Or ask your parents. I know that's hard. But again, this is super important, getting ready for ERBs. All right, I want you to be ready. Yes, sir.